Now some of you may already recognise this rifle. It's my BSA Super 10 Mark II. I've had this gun for 10 years or more now, and it was originally bought through Sandwell Field Sports as one of their Super 10 customs. It has a custom schedule with stock, which is probably pronounced wrong, and a custom silencer fitted to it. And it's usually a tack driver, but I've noticed this last while my grip's stringing up and down a bit. So after firing a few rounds over the chronograph, I realised I had about 30 feet per second of spread over 10 shots. Not good. And the gun was long overdue a service anyway. So after talking to Malcolm Bernard from Country Pursuits TV, he suggested I contact John Bowkett. Now some of you may already know that John Bowkett originally designed the Super 10 as well as a few other rifles, so who better else to send it to? So I contacted John, and he's a very nice man to talk to. He said no problem, he could service the rifle. And the best bit was, he didn't need the whole rifle, he only needed the regulator, which he originally designed to be easily taken out of the rifle and be sent over, and save you the cost and hassle of sending the whole gun over. Now to do this, you'll have to remove the rifle stock, using a large star-headed screwdriver to remove the rear stock bolt. It's just behind the trigger guard. Then using a large plain-headed screwdriver, remove the central stock bolt. Now this isn't actually a bolt, it's a nut that threads onto a capture bolt on the rifle's action, and in my case it stays in the stock, so once you feel it loose it should be fine to remove. Now you'll have to use a smaller flat-headed screwdriver to remove the safety catch, as this is fitted onto the side of the rifle. Now the action should simply tease out of the stock. I should also mention that I removed the buddy bottle from the rifle beforehand. Now you'll have to remove this alloy plate which holds the regulator into place by using the correct size of Allen key. Simply loosen all 4 bolts a couple of turns before fully screwing them out. Once you have them loosened and removed, remove the alloy plate and the regulator should simply pop out. It doesn't look like much, but this is the heart of the Super 10. This one still has its original factory sticker showing what caliber a rifle it's for. Once I had that done, I wrapped it up and arranged to have it sent over to John. Of course, when you're finished, always ensure you put all your bolts and screws into a safe container so you don't lose them. But thankfully, after a very quick turnaround, John sent the regulator back. Doesn't look much different, but thankfully all the work is on the inside. He also sent me this selection of different sized shims, which with the aid of a chronograph you can fine tune your rifle's power and consistency with by adding them onto the end of the hammer spring guide. But if you don't feel like doing this yourself, you can send the whole action to John and he'll do it. I also got one of these custom large bolt knobs that John makes from Derrylin, with a row of knurling round the middle for grip. You can see the difference in size compared to the standard bolt knob. I decided to replace this one, as you can see there's a fair wee bit of wear there in the middle and I was worried it was going to snap off someday. To refit the regulator, simply take up a little tension in the cocking bolt and pop the regulator back in the same way it came out. Then replace the alloy plate that holds it in place, ensuring that you have fitted the stock bolt into it, and start to thread the 4 bolts into place. Then tension them up. I tension them going from opposite corner to opposite corner, or clockwise will do, to ensure that it gets an even tension. The new bolt handle simply screws back into the bolt. Now for some shots over the chronograph. My gun's running at about 15 foot-pounds of energy, and John has tuned it back to the same power as it was before. Not bad, that's about 5 feet per second of a spread, a lot better than the 30 I was getting beforehand. Now we'll try her on some paper, make sure the rifle's zeroed, and see what size of group I can put in. I've sped this up a wee bit just in case you think I'm shooting this quickly. Well, I would have to drop one low. I'm shooting from about 30 yards here. And that's not too bad a group except for the one I dropped low. Now to have some fun. I love shooting empty shotgun cartridges. Again, I'm shooting from 30 yards and I'm using a sitting position. This time I've played this in natural time. Let's shoot this again, but this time I'll put the camera up close. Again, 5 for 5, not too bad. Let's try something different. Okay, they're sitting on their end, they're a bigger target. This time I'm going to try and shoot them from a freehand standing position. Again, I'm working at 30 yards here. And I'm going to play this again in natural time. Not bad, I don't always get 5 for 5. Well, looks like my Super 10's back on form again. Thanks very much to John Bowkett for the work he done on the regulator, and to Country Pursuits TV for recommending me. I'll also add a link to the John Bowkett website somewhere in the description box for anybody who wants to contact him.